The violin, also known as a fiddle, is the smallest and highest-pitched member of the violin family, which also includes the viola and cello. It typically has 4 strings, and its tuning notes, from lowest to highest, are G, D, A, and E. The history of string instruments in Turkish music, including the kemençe, and the evolution of the modern violin share interesting parallels and intersections. In the Middle East, the Byzantines developed a primitive form of a violin known as lyre, while the modern violin, as we recognize it today, emerged in northern Italy during the 14th century before spreading throughout Europe. Early violin makers such as Rebec in Italy, Lira da Braci in the Renaissance era, and Viel in France were instrumental in shaping the violin's predecessors. Some sources suggest that the violin's development might have been influenced by instruments like the Oğuz kemençe or the Arab rebab. Renowned violin makers like Niccolò Amati, Paolo Maghini, Giuseppe Guarneri, and Antonio Stradivarius further refined the violin during the 16th and 17th centuries. While the basic shape of the violin was retained, it underwent some modifications in the 19th century, resulting in a longer body, neck, and a higher bridge in contemporary violins. In the context of Turkish music, the kemençe, which derives its name from Persian words meaning small violin, played a pivotal role long before the introduction of the Western violin to the Ottoman Empire. The kemençe had a unique style and technique and featured 3 strings, evolving into a 4-string version. While the Western violin eventually made its way into Turkish music, it could not replace the distinct qualities of the kemençe. The sinekman, a precursor to the Western violin, was in use in Turkey prior to the 18th century. Its origins remain somewhat unclear, with some attributing its introduction to a Moldavian violinist during Sultan Selim III's rule. However, there was already a tradition of violin playing among non-Muslim musicians in the Ottoman Empire. The violin eventually found its place in Turkish music, with notable performers and composers contributing to its adoption in various musical settings, including dervish convents and palace ensembles. The emergence of violin-focused cafes and a surge of interest during Ramadan further integrated the violin into Turkish musical culture. Gypsy players played a pivotal role in the spread of Turkish music and culture in Europe, fostering a close relationship between Turkish and Hungarian musicians. Gypsies played both the violin and the saz, baglama, contributing to cultural exchanges. In summary, the intertwined history of string instruments in Turkish music and the evolution of the violin presents a rich and diverse narrative shaped by various cultures and historical developments, with the violin's adoption in Turkish music influenced by both local and international factors.